Okay, Sunday, 7th of September 2025. So, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Will it matter when I'm gone? Now, very recently, I rediscovered an old album that I was listening to about 20 or so years ago. And there was one particular lyric in one particular song that resonated with me, just struck with me. It stuck and it struck me. Will it matter when I'm gone? Because that summarizes a lot of what I've implicitly been thinking and conclusions been coming to with regards to thinking long term 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 years in the future. In general, he with the longest time horizon wins. So, that literally got me thinking. Because one interesting principle I had was this thing you're creating today, does it benefit you a year, 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100 years from now? These videos and these vlogs are this video and these vlogs are a very good example where it's like creating a library for future reference and for future generations. Very nice at a meta level. But I was thinking this action, this decision, this thing, will it matter in the future? What bearing will it have in 3, 5, 10, 20 years from now? Is it important? Will it still matter in 5, 10, 20 years from now? Ooh, it's a bit of a perpetual question because the answer only way to know fully is wait 20 years, but that's, proof of work, a long time to wait. So then you could say, this thing I'm doing, I'm creating, will it be valuable and important in the future? This thing that I'm spending my time on, whatever it may be right now, will I still use this, appreciate it in 5, 10, 20 years from now? That's the deep fundamental question. And we can also invert it to say, this thing, will I be proud of this 5 years from now? Will this produce me yield in some fashion 5 years from now? Income, for example, or reputation, enhancing reputation in the future. I did a video 6 or so months ago to say that your online presence is like a living portfolio, a living feed, a living proof of your skill, because you've got accreditation, but then proof of work and skill is what you actually do with that. And if you can condense into a simple link, click on this link and see my performance, that's powerful. That builds instant rapport and expands reputation. Very, very useful. So will it matter when I'm gone? Will it matter when she's gone? You name it. That's an interesting question worth asking. Because we could say, is this the most valuable thing I'm doing now? And is this the most valuable thing that I'll be appreciating in the future, having done in the past? Meaning, we could say at a meta level, reducing our regrets, so as to say, why didn't I do this 10 years ago? Why didn't I start this 5 years ago? I'm so glad I read this book back then in 2025, because my Spanish in the future is a lot better because of it. Granite and not rainbows, for example. Wow, very nice, very, very powerful. What future regrets are we not? What future regrets can we avoid having in the future by doing something today? That's quite powerful. Very, very powerful. And then when you start thinking about that, you start being much more strict and disciplined with your time and what you produce, what you create. For example, one interesting metric I stumbled upon, let's say, this year is if this thing is not producing cash within 30 days, I don't bother with it as much. I don't bother as much. That's powerful. Because it's to say, within reason, all things being equal, probably wasting my time. But then the flip side is to say, well, in 3, 5, 10 years from now, you'll be benefiting from it. Of course, that's always true, but again, the litmus test is to be 100% sure, wait 3, 5, 10 years from now. There's always that within reason aspect. I did a video about this a year or so ago. Within reason. There's always some within reason buried in there with regards to logic. And we can also go deeper. I did a video about this a year and a half ago to say everything eventually will be in the landfill site. Everything around us, everything, even the sun, will, on a long enough time horizon, be destroyed, recycled, turn to dust. The paper will be shredded. These things here will be thrown away. That will deteriorate and rot. Entropy, really, entropy. These will have no more use and be discarded. Things like that. This thing will eventually break down and not be needed anymore. That eventually will have so much wear and tear it'll be worthless. Go to zero. Everything around us will eventually go into the landfill site and be destroyed on a long enough time horizon. Even the sun, in a billion or so whatever years, will blow up. Interesting. Entropy. Fundamentally, it's entropy. So then you say, back to the question, will it matter when I'm gone? And then we can go deeper, and it's that quote from Gladiator, the Russell Crowe one, 2000, I think it was. Our actions echo in eternity. What are we doing now that you'll benefit from, reputationally, financially, emotionally, or in terms of rapport? You name it, 3, 5, 10 years from now. Again, your online presence is a living portfolio. It's a living CV. Powerful, powerful stuff. And then by that logic, someone in the future I'll share them the link to this playlist, and they'll be spending a good 10-20 seconds scrolling through the entire feed, getting to the very bottom, thinking, oh my god, this is intense level of discipline, there's so much knowledge here, who is this guy, what's going on here? Wow, that's really cool. So yes, will it matter when I'm gone? That's a fascinating perpetual question, and it's a good benchmark for our actions in terms of squeezing value, as much value from our actions, and every second, every minute, every moment. Because understand, at an even deeper level, every second, once it's gone, once it passes, it's gone forever. The last 60 seconds, gone. We are now 60 seconds further into the future. I've aged 60 seconds more. Things have deteriorated that infinitesimally more because of entropy. The wood, for example, is rotten infinitesimally more because of its exposure to humidity in the air. Things as minute as that. Things like that. And then again, in spite of that time progressing, are we disproportionately better off in the sense of doing more value than creating, producing, you name it, more value than the time that was lost? Meaning then, if you invert it, don't waste time, don't waste your life, because then in the future you'll have nothing to show for it at any level, no matter what, emotional, spiritual, financial, physical, you name it. What does that lead to? Regret. And I did a video or two about this, regret minimization frameworks. Powerful stuff. Yeah. But otherwise, Adrian's daily vlog, sharing smart stuff men should know. Subscribe for more, and you will see me tomorrow.